Hey guys, it's Wednesday, and I just thought I would talk to you a little bit today about my exercise, because I mentioned yesterday, that I was getting ready to exercise. And I do spend a lot of time sitting down for work, and I'm sure that any of you, if you make um, videos or if you blog or anything like that, you can understand how much time you spend sitting down just doing those things. And so I always try to get some exercise in, and one of my go-to things is to go and get in 10,000 steps so that I can make sure I've taken at least 10,000 steps that day. And normally I tend to do that as one of my first things in the morning. Like, usually I will, do some laundry and do some things around the house, get a shower, and then I'll kind of go do that. But today I had a lot of things that I did already. I've already done laundry this morning and taken a shower and all that kind of stuff. But I had to go to UPS today, and I had to go stop and get some gas, and I went to the bank, and I've already done a couple hours of work, and so it's actually a little after 4, which is later than I would normally, do this, but it doesn't really matter as long as I do it. I don't really care what time of the day it is that I do it. And so I thought I would just tell you a little bit about kind of what I do. So I try to get 10,000 steps in, and I usually, you can do that pretty easily. I do a combination of walking and running, and I just I don't give myself a certain amount of time to do either. I just let my music sort of decide what I'm doing. So if it's really fast-paced, upbeat song, I'm probably going to run, and if it's a little slower and more mellow, I'm going to walk. And I actually like doing that. I keep my music on shuffle so I never know what's going to come next. And I like to do that because it breaks up the workout, and your body doesn't get acclimated to whatever you're doing. There's no predictability about it, and so that just seems to really work for me. I use a path that I've been told is 1.3 miles around, just for one lap. I usually go around it 3.5 times, and so it's longer than a 5K, and it probably breaks down to somewhere around 4.5 miles or so. And the amount of time that it takes me kind of changes, because like I said, sometimes I run, sometimes I walk faster, sometimes I walk slower. And if I'm running, if I do a lot of running, then I have to actually go further than the 4.5 miles, because obviously when you run, you take a longer stride than when you walk. And the whole point is the number of steps that I'm taking more than anything else for me. So I use a pedometer to mark my steps. So yesterday I actually ended up with 12,024 steps. I don't know what it'll be today, as long as it's over 10,000. And so I always bring some water with me. And I just keep it in my car. They have drinking fountains here, but for some reason this year they didn't turn any of the drinking fountains on. So I've been bringing water with me, and every lap around I'll stop and take a couple swigs of water just to stay hydrated. So I always try to bring a snack with me. Today I just have these Twistos baked snack bites. These are in Asiago flavor. The snack is kind of irrelevant. I just grabbed something that I have around, and that's because a lot of times if I do it earlier in the day, a lot of times I haven't eaten anything yet, and I may have already been up for quite a few hours, because I generally only eat once a day. Don't do that. It's bad for you. It's only because I have reactions to food, and I just need the time to recover, but it actually makes you gain weight. And so don't do that. It's not an effective way to diet or lose weight if you were thinking it might be. So these are like 130 calories per serving. So what I'll do is, if I start to feel hungry when I'm on my walk, which does happen sometimes, the first lap around I'll eat like a half a serving, so that would be like 65 calories worth. And then the next lap around I'll eat the other half, which would be another 65, and that way I'm getting about 130 calories, in an hour's time frame or so, which is a normal number of calories to eat within that amount of time. And so like I said, the snack is really kind of irrelevant, and I basically would just, no matter what the snack was, I would divide it into, I would just take one serving and divide it into that amount of time. And that's just to kind of keep the hunger away, and just to make sure I have energy to keep going, because if you haven't eaten yet and then you start getting hungry, you're going to lose your energy really fast. And then you spend the whole rest of the time talking yourself into finishing to keep going instead of just doing it and enjoying it. So I always keep my phone with me, and I have an iPod Nano, so I use that. It's this right here, and it has a pedometer on it, so I usually just start the pedometer when I start walking, and then I just leave it on. I don't really worry about it or pay attention to it. I listen to my music and let my music shuffle. When I get 4.5 laps around, I check my pedometer just to make sure that I did in fact reach the 10,000 steps. I never haven't, but if for some reason I didn't, then I would just keep going until I did. So, I think if I ran the whole thing, I probably would have to keep going for sure to get the 10,000 steps in, because my stride would be longer. But because I run and walk, a combination of the two, I usually have always reached the 10,000 steps. Sometimes it's like 10,100 and something. Yesterday it was like 12,024. So it does vary, but that's it. So I'll just show you, me setting the pedometer and that kind of thing, and then I'll show it to you at the end. And I might take a little footage of if I see anything interesting. Sometimes there's deer out here and birds and things. So if I see anything interesting, I might show you that, or show you some of the view. I just wanted you to have kind of an idea of how I do that, or what my goals are, or how I decide how much to do in a day. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna get started, and I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Bye. Open box action. What is this? Oh. Okay, food. Awesome. Kitty cats are getting a treat. Woohoo! Purina Beyond. Natural cat food. Grain-free. What's this? Pate. Wild salmon recipe. It's not even focusing on that. Nope. Okay.